Apparently, Baylor men's tennis got a transfer. Who is it, you ask? I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. And I will say it's a guy that should make an impact both singles and doubles. To say right off the jump, he is from Old Dominion, and it is Connor. His middle name is Henry Van Schalkwyk, Schalkwyk. And I'm going to just make mention that in his career, both singles, doubles, he's been playing at 1 and 2. He's even played number one doubles with his brother, Cody, that was a senior this past year, and even the year before, as a junior, like when Cody was a junior, and well, Connor was a freshman. So that already speaks high volumes right there. And he was a 2024 Sun Belt Conference Freshman of the Year. He does have a singles UTR of 12.91. His doubles is 12.77. So this is definitely a guy that will make impact. He actually played Jean Bourvelts back in the fall. He did lose to him, by the way. 6-4, 2-6, 4-6. So, and it's not like he's not a bad player, because if he could push Jean Bour, he's that good. And he doesn't have to necessarily be 1 or 2 at Baylor, because assuming both Devin and Jean Bour come back, those are the top 2. Though I wouldn't put past Connor for being a number 2 singles guy. I wouldn't, because he's done that in the past, and he played against some power conference opponents and been at 1 and 2. And I'm just going to say that he was highly regarded when he signed with Old Dominion for the 2023 class. And this was released November 16th of 2022 with Dominic Mueller, and he's the head coach over there currently, and he was a former Baylor player, as we all know. When you look at the history, so. And this is what Dominic Mueller said about him when he signed with Old Dominion. Connor comes from an outstanding family, and we couldn't be more excited to make him a member of the team. His international experience and his success speaks for itself, and it will help him in our team for immediate success next fall. I mean, that fall 2023. But first and foremost, Connor's a great human being that bought into the vision and wants to get better on the tennis court, and we are excited to fulfill his potential. I will say Connor has been ranked as high as 36th in the International Tennis Federation World Juniors rankings. He participated in all 4 Junior Grand Slams in 2022 and has won 5 ITF World Junior titles. He won the African Junior title, Junior Championships in 2021, and while following that with a runner-up showing in 2022. And he's part of the Namibian Davis Cup team. And by the way, he is from Windhoek, Namibia. Windhoek. And I apologize if I butchered that city in Namibia. He is 6'3" tall, by the way. So this is a guy that's going to contribute both in singles and doubles, in my opinion. It's more like wearing a lineup, to be honest, because I do think he has a role to be as high as number 3 singles, maybe even 2, to push Jean Bour. and all this. Doubles, that's a crapshoot. I don't know. And I'm going to just make clear like one thing up that it's kind of like what I've already heard in the grapevine, but it's actually something that even better than I heard. Calvin Barrel, Baierl, apologize if I butchered that. He's actually enrolling this fall, and that is extremely helpful. So Connor, by the way, has 2 years of eligibility, so that's even better. So you have multiple years with the guy, and Calvin does have a UTR 12.52, which is good as a incoming freshman. I do feel better about the lineup 1 through 6. Then the number 7 would be probably Luis Jose Nakamine. I do think they're going to add somebody else from the transfer portal, or freshman, or even both. I mean, like freshman in terms of like January, because they have done that in the past, so I wouldn't put past them Baylor men's tennis program for doing that. I wouldn't. I would just say they're like a guy or two away from feeling really better about the depth, because you got to have 1 through 7 depth. In case of injury, you could plug in a guy if you need to. But obviously, if you get 2 guys, that's even more helpful. And this is assuming that Louis Bowden does stay, and Luke Koenig stays, and Devin stays, and Jean Bourg stays. That would be the 1 through 6 right now, and probably Calvin at number 6. Probably. But I would feel better if they would add another guy or 2. Whether it's transfer portal or another freshman coming in. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. This is just a commitment and not a signed thing yet. So just a heads up there. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So remind this course, like video, comment video really helps YouTube background. Some more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well. Some more people could watch it. And if you're watching, and that hit subscribe button for the notification bell as well. And I do think the number 8 guy after Luis Jose might be Armand or one of the other 2 freshmen, and Blake Anderson and Drew Hedgeco. I think that's a battle for number 8 right now. I think it is. And Embron probably is right there as well. So, yeah, I just think they're going to probably add another guy, because if you want to be top 16 good and host the first 2 rounds, or even top 8, you've got to have depth. And the good news is TCU should be worse next year. It is confirmed that they will lose Jack Payton Jones. He's turning pro. And not only that, one of the better freshmen, Jagger Leach, he changed his mind on TCU. He's going to Stanford now. So that is really helpful. So that's just a heads up there. We'll see about the rest of the Big 12. We'll see. Because there's a lot of time between now and the fall, and then because in the fall and the spring, because you could technically add guys. Technically could.